Onechanbara on the PS4. This is a research stream of a game that I accidentally forgot to do an audio check last time I started recording. Let's just start over from the beginning, because I want to start from the very beginning of the game, because I want you to see how the game plays out if you've never played this game before. In other words, if you don't know how the mechanics work, if it's just a blur, you even need to know how the mechanics of this game work. I argue that you do not. See all these tip screens you see right here? Press the L1 and R1 buttons to switch between them. Trust me, you're not going to need to know most of this. We're going to go through the first 2 chapters. You're not going to need to know pretty much any of this. The game will tell you what you need to know. That's pretty much all you're going to have to do. Because the only thing that matters in this game is button mashing. So far, for the most part. And I say that because I'm playing on the normal difficulty level. And I played about an hour of this game already. Button mashing is really all you need to do to survive. There's higher level play, I guess, but the floor is so low, it might not even matter. And we're going to skip the story. Because it's about Bikini. What's the original title for this game? Samurai Bikini Squad, I believe, was the original title in the series. So do you want to see... Okay, maybe you want to see the story. You're not going to get a whole bunch of that in this. We're not that kind of channel. Maybe you can watch Mom's Basement. Maybe that channel will have what you're looking for, but not here. We're not going to snark too much, though. We're going to try and focus on the game. We're going to be fair, because look, my opinions of this game was extremely low before I bought it. But for $6? Why not? I'm going to give this game a chance, and I gave it a chance. So I'm going to be somewhat fair to this game. It deserves a fair shot, because it's way better than DOA Extreme Beach Volleyball, which I did do a video of. I'll think about putting it up on the internet if I can frame it properly, because frankly it was boring for me to do commentary on that game, because it was barely even a game. There's a game here, as you can see by all these icons all over the screen. Trust me, they're going to need to know any of this crap to get past the first 2 stages, so don't worry. Okay, we're going to mash on the attack buttons for the next 2 minutes, so bear with me here. Going to mash on the circle, we're going to mash on the square and triangle buttons over and 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 over again until this tutorial mission is done. Press R1 to target a particular character. That's the lock on. Let me not get too close. I'm just waiting until the next person shows up, so bear with me. I want to say it's a story trigger. Here we go. Yeah, this is a story trigger. Okay. Okay, where's the next tutorial bit? Whoops, I missed that tutorial bit. Press the trackpad. Sorry, press the trackpad. You probably missed that tutorial bit. So I pressed the trackpad to get my cross attack going. So now I have a partner fighting alongside me. Don't worry about these characters yet. We'll be seeing more of them later. So we'll just smash along. And I can switch, apparently. Yeah, I can switch between characters, but I'm not going to do that in this part of the video. Because, again, I want you to just see how I was able to make progress in the game without actually trying to spend a bunch of time explaining mechanics that were never explained when I was playing. The game doesn't explain how to switch characters at this point in the game, so I'm just going to mash on the attack buttons until the story ends. Am I going to die? Probably going to die. I'm probably going to die here. I'm not dead. I guess I am dead. Yeah, I'm not dead, but that level finally ended. That was a whole lot of nothing. Yeah, we have the Japanese voice acting on because, well, what are you going to do? I guess it's authentic. Yeah, you have to press the options button to skip the story. There's a zombie that shows up in a second, so the zombie's supposed to attack us. Okay, cross-merge combination. When the gauge render character is at max, it will read "I'm ready." We're not going to ignore all that. That was the first tutorial message that we got in this game. Again, when I played this game for the first time, that was all the game told me how to do. Mash on triangle and circle. Mash on triangle and square to perform basic combo attacks. That's all I need to know. all this stuff to tag in your characters, you don't need to do any of this stuff yet. The game will explain how to do that later. In fact, it's going to explain how to do it now. Yeah. This is another way the story's told. Panels. Okay, so the game's supposed to explain the rest of the... Hold on. Back to what we were doing. Where's the next tutorial mission? Yeah, where's the next tutorial message here? As you saw from the fight earlier in this video, if you miss a tutorial message, you're gonna completely miss it. You're gonna completely whiff on it. You're not gonna know how to do anything. But again, that's gonna matter. Oh yeah, in case you're wondering, the blood in this game is currently set to white. You have a choice between white, red, and black blood. So we're using white blood. So it looks like we're beating up a bunch of synthoids from aliens. You know, artificial people. In fact, let me see. Artificial persons, I believe, is what they prefer to be called. Yeah, the blood color. White, red, and black. You can go black blood if you want Peter Jackson style. White blood if you want this James Cameron style, which is what we're doing. And frankly, YouTube doesn't like the color red that much anyway. Or at least the encoder that YouTube uses isn't really wild about red, apparently. It might just be a rumor, but... Frankly, I kind of like the idea of having white blood in a video game. It seems appropriate for the tone, if you know what I mean. Hold on. Yep, gonna make this game look like a Jackson Pollock painting. So that's all. Is that the entire mob? Remember, I have to press R1 to target a specific enemy. I'm just gonna mash on the X button to dash every now and then. The game will explain what that's about a bit later. For now, the game doesn't tell you how to do anything but just mash on triangle and square. Yeah, and center the camera, I want to say. I don't know if it ever told you how to recenter the camera now that I think about it. I'm just mashing on that attack button. And eventually the game's going to explain how the whole blood system works. Because there's blood on my blade. See the left-hand side of the screen right there? There are two swords right there. One is red, and apparently there's a lot of blood on it, so it loses its ability. It loses some damage over time if there's too much blood on it. So eventually you have to shake it off. Now, and the game will explain that in a moment. Let me press up on the D-pad to switch characters. So we're gonna switch to Veronica here, and the brunette cowgirl, basically. So I was using I was using the pink hair right here, the redhead Aiko. A cowgirl Aiko right here. Kesha, I suppose. And I just switch by pressing up or down on the D-pad to switch characters. So we only have two characters to choose from at this point in the game. Which way do we go? I never remember this part. Which way do we go? Okay, so now I know. Just so you know, pressing triangle and circle together performs a special move and the ecstasy gauge is full. But what is the ecstasy gauge? Is the game going to tell you where it is? I don't know. Because one of these meters up there in the top left-hand corner of the screen is the ecstasy gauge, and I have no idea. And look, she made a rodeo joke. She already came from here, so there's nothing to see over here. Did I move the camera out? Press R1. Yeah, the camera type is set for far. Because by default, the camera is right here, and it's not very convenient. It's a bit too close. It's a bit too tight. So you have to, at least as far as I'm concerned, I'm glad I discovered that feature, because the game was pretty annoying with that camera being as near as it is. So I guess if you want to activate your creeper cam, I guess you can keep it near if you want. I got the lock-on key set to key push, so it's like a toggle. Let me go down a bit. This is a toggle. So if you press R1 to lock on, right here, the lock-on type means if you press the button, it toggles on or off. So you don't have to hold the R1 button down. So I prefer that. Yep, I got the Japanese voice acting, and I got the slow and zoom camera on. I probably should turn it off. We'll do that later, I guess. If it becomes problematic, I'll do that. So the rest of this game wasn't problematic. Hashtag. Hashtag problematic. Speaking of which, where's the next, here we go. So all those enemies are down there. So if I don't want to face them, I can jump. Whoops. I was supposed to dash up there and I missed. Sorry, I missed my jump. Okay, so did I press circle and triangle that time? Yeah, I guess I did. Not complaining, got the S ranking. So I destroyed that entire mob. Not complaining. So I missed my jump, and I wound up falling down to to that pit, but hey, there you go. I know what you're thinking. Why are these women wearing bikinis? Well, because that's the kind of game this is. That's really all I have to tell you. Think of it as Red Dead Redemption meets Bayonetta. Meets Devil May Cry. Meets DOA. Actually, the pacing of this part of the game is kind of like Dynasty Warriors. Or I guess you could argue it's like Sengoku Basara on the Wii? Like it's basically like a brawler. Oh wait. Okay. I guess my ecstasy meter is full. And really, if you think about it, is this game really any more explicit than like Bayonetta was? You know, with the pole dancing and the like with the pole dancing and the what you call it? The pole dancing and the the naked hair dragons. And the what do you call it? The yeah, there was the the shoving people, the whole shoving people into grinders thing, like a reverse hustler bit, I suppose. That seemed to be the tone of that game's combat too, if you think about it. Yeah, and all the the whipping enemies. Yeah, the whole whipping enemies in the head. That thing. Yeah. Actually, I think it was a knight. Yes, no, she was just smacking them. She would grab them and smack them. That was the thing. I didn't know this statue was here. Oh, I learned something new. Okay. So let's just do this. Press the touchpad button to refresh your weapons. Now the blood is completely removed from both of our weapons. So, now you know it's here. Again, the game hasn't really explained a whole bunch of stuff yet, so I'll stick to what the game has told me. Give me that. Guys just sort of show up and stand around, like in Dynasty Warriors. So they're just moving meat bags to be slashed. Like pus-filled meat bags, basically. Moving on. Oh, there's a set of enemies. Fair enough. So I guess at some point the game will explain the whole shake the blood off your blade system. We'll work on that. Triangle circle for the special attack. Again, I'm getting all these yellow orbs. I don't know what they're for. Maybe they're for score. I don't know. I'm mashing on, again, I'm just mashing on, square and triangle. I think triangle's for the special attack, for the stronger attack. I don't know. I mean, again, there's apparently a timing-based combo system here. It's, as far as I'm concerned, it's just mashing buttons. So, super simplistic. Wait, one more. This will go on for about 5 more minutes at least. This stage. See, another enemy, another mob spawn. Let me switch. Okay, I'm just mashing buttons. I'm not doing a lot of strategy here. I see a mob, I see a bunch of enemies, I just mash buttons. I did a judgment spin out for some reason. Don't know how, but I did. Now, they'll stop coming eventually, I just don't know when. Good? Nope, not yet. I'm just mashing, still mashing. Okay, now I finally won. Took a little bit of damage I wasn't expecting to take. I can't remember the way out. Yeah, so follow the zombies, I guess. Well, there's another one right there. Seems to be stuck in the geometry. How you doing, bro? You gonna attack anytime soon? Nope? Thinking about it? Well, wait, there he goes. Yeah, see? He moved first. Okay. You done? I think he's done, bro. Can I get up here? Yes, I can. Okay, I made it over the geometry. Yay. It just goes in a loop anyway, doesn't it? What's the point of that? This thing just goes in a loop. Oh, there we go. Made it over. Is this where I came from? Yeah, I think this is where I came from. Well, gotta love your minecart levels in these video games, huh? Okay, so how do I filter? How do I need to vamp a little bit? Because I'm almost near the end eventually. So, why didn't I do a video of DOA Extreme Beach Volleyball 2 on the Xbox 360? Because there was no game there. I mean, there was really crappy volleyball. There were really crappy mini games. There was really crappy Wave Race 64. There was really crappy mini games about, you know, it was like a really crappy rhythm game, I guess, where you're trying to hop across a pool with lily pads on it, basically. Colored lily pads. So you had to time your button presses. I never got very far in that. There's a really crappy social RPG system where you give gifts to your girl, quote unquote, I suppose, your lady. And she's supposed to like you more, I guess. But really, the only real game in that game was the gambling, which the only thing I really played, I want to say, was roulette. And I mean, do you want to watch a bunch of videos of me playing roulette? Probably not. I think there was like one other game. Like, I think there was like some other social RPG stuff where it's like you have a partner, really, and that partner is like a volleyball partner. And if you switch partners, you can't play with anyone, so you get another partner. And some people don't want to be your partner to, like, you know, bring them gifts or something. I'm like, so basically, if I'm playing as Kasumi in Dead or Alive, you know, if you remember the ninja, one of the ninja women. I know more about the kunoichi in that game than I probably should, but yeah, Kasumi was one of the kunoichi. And if you choose, say, Helena, I think her name was, as a partner, then you replace her, and that person leaves you behind. It's like, okay, so now I don't have a partner, so now I can't play volleyball. I need a partner before I can play volleyball in that game. So how do I get another partner? Well, maybe I have to beat her in a jet ski race or something. I'm like, okay. Again, if this were a good game, that wouldn't be an issue. But it's like a bunch of mini game crap. It's like Mario Party. It's like Mario Party basically for anime fans. It wasn't even for anime fans. I mean, that game is basically just the swimsuit. It's basically just the swimsuit issue of DOA, which is saying a lot considering the kind of games DOA tends to be. And I'm just mashing buttons again. I gotta refresh this. Guess my blade's kind of weak. Switch weapons. Okay, so I'm gonna switch party members. Go to the brunette. There we go. Are we done yet? How do I refresh my blade? Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah. The game's supposed to tell you how to refresh it, so I'll just explain that. Okay, so I'm going to switch party members. I'm going to press R1, shake to blow off my blade, and now it's fresh. Now I can cut more cleanly. That's how you sharpen your blade, by shaking the blood off it, which is kind of amusing. Are we done? Yeah, we're done. Switching to Veronica here. Okay. Oh, wait. Not done yet, son. That's what the slow motion's for, I guess. I mean, you've seen me. All I've been doing is just mashing, you know, square and triangle. I mean, no reason to be complicated about it. The auto targeting didn't seem to work that well sometimes, but like I'm literally choosing the enemy that's furthest away from me. But hey, I mean, if there was enemies in front of you, just mash on the 2 attack buttons and you'll be just fine. For the most part. Yeah, I think I've taken a few hits. But here we go. Here's the next area. Okay, so Kagura. So Senken Kagura is the redhead, and Aya is the brunette. Okay, now I know. I can never remember their names. I don't know what to tell you. I can never keep their names straight. Yeah, we're going down here. Okay, yeah, we got moles. Okay. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna press circle and square together. Now circle and triangle together for that special move. Now I'm gonna mash on those attack buttons. Oh yeah, something else there's another skill that's gonna be explained a bit later, so give me a second. Let me mash on these guys with Kagura. You know, Eiko right here. Because she has a Super Saiyan mode that you'll be seeing very shortly, so we'll get to that. Yeah, these guys are kind of annoying, because they dig under the ground like land sharks and eventually surface like a blender. Like a ninja blender, so fair warning there. Okay, a bunch of stuff is happening. I know you might have a hard time keeping track of it, but you aren't the only one. I'm the one who's playing the game, I can barely keep track of it. But hey, 60 FPS, right? 1080p, alright? I mean, yeah, okay, it looks kind of like Bayonetta with less complicated backgrounds. You know, less detailed backgrounds. But hey, it's got a more consistent frame rate. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Bayonetta had frame rate problems even on the 360. And the Wii, as I recall. Of course, the Wii U version. Yeah, even on the Wii U, the Bayonetta had a few frame rate problems, as I recall. And I seem to recall that. Not Bayonetta. Yeah, was it Bayonetta 2? Even Bayonetta 2 had frame rate problems on the Wii U. The Switch, I think, mostly fixed them. It didn't completely. It's good enough. Come on, don't complain about that. But that game had other problems I'll get to later. In fact, as I'm talking about this game, I'll probably bring that up. When transformed, attacks will be faster and stronger, and the efficacy gauge will automatically increase. In exchange for these powerful abilities, however, your health will gradually decrease. Okay. Once the ability to transform is made available, press L3 and R3 together while the sustain gauge is at max to make it happen. No, that's entirely possible. Transform, attack, and evading. And I didn't have to pay attention to any of this. I'm just gonna mash on the attack buttons. And pressing circle and triangle together. Did I get him? Did I get them all? Well, now I didn't get all of them. Okay, where's the? I'm trying to look up. There's the enemy. I'm trying to lock onto him. Suck it! I can barely see. Bunch of flashing lights are happening. Flashing lights in anime. That's all I got. We good? Now they're dead. Yeah, C ranking. Well, all the damage I took was because I was using this super powered mode or whatever, the Super Saiyan mode. Bun. I was expecting buns in this game. Actually, let me rephrase that. So she's gonna bring the ceiling down. So, yeah, okay, so, why am I even paying attention to the story? Sorry. Why am I even paying attention? So, how's my ranking? Got a silver, right? Yep, I got a silver. No death penalty, because no one died. ASS. AC. That was completely, trust me, that was completely unintentional. So, again, the game hasn't explained most of these mechanics at all. I mean, at some point, the game's going to explain them. Like in a little single screen. Ultimate combo, press the character change. Press the L2 button to swap your main weapon. The game hasn't explained that system yet. The sub-weapon. The game hasn't explained that system yet either. When attacking enemies with any weapon, its power and speed will gradually drop. So there's wear and tear on your weapons. So yes, there's a durability system in this game, like in Breath of the Wild. And weapons do not break, apparently. Like I said, eventually you get too much blood on your blade. You get too much blood on your blade, and you have to shake it off. Okay, these are the two schoolgirls. So we're gonna play, and we're gonna beat up a bunch of zombies. So we're gonna play a game of High School of the Dead. High School of the Dead or Alive. You know, like the anime from the guy who did Death Note. With TNA, of course, because anime. You saw the anime, you know what I'm talking about. Press and hold the X button longer than you would for a normal jump to perform a high-speed targeted leap known as a chase, which I was doing accidentally early during the last stage. This can be used to easily close the gap between you and your enemy. When locked onto a target, you'll automatically chase in the direction of that foe. If you're not locked on anything, you'll simply chase whatever lies directly in front of you. If you're surrounded by enemies when chasing, they may be pulled with you all the way to the target, so it's like a vortex. They'll be sucked along with you, so that's kind of cute. Now we're going to play here Saki, who's the pugilist. She's like Sakura in Street Fighter 2 in a way. And she's actually a lot of fun. She just bum rushes dudes. She does not give a crap. It's the good old 1-2 punch. She's got brass knuckles, basically. Like I said, High School of the Dead. Schoolgirls beating up zombies. Works for me, I guess. This has officially become a Bishonen game, hasn't it? I have no idea what no idea what these two ladies are saying to each other, but I think they're sisters or whatever. Oh yeah, so Saya's got the chainsaw. We'll be switching to her in a second. So I'll play with Aya for a while because she's a lot of fun. She'll blow through all these enemies. She'll pummel all these bad guys. Did the game ever explain the shake the blood off your blade system yet? Because I'm doing it, but the game hasn't really explained it, I don't think. Okay, now I'm gonna switch. Press up. I'm gonna switch to Saki, who I call Lollipop Chainsaw, because she got the big old chainsaw. She's a teenage girl with a chainsaw, so you know, Lollipop Chainsaw. A game I have not played. She's kind of slow and tanky because he has that big unwieldy chainsaw. It's strong, I suppose. But more importantly, she can still dash to enemies and do that little spinning attack, like in Blades of Time. So if you really want to move around quickly with her, the best way to do it is just use dash attacks, because she can zip around the arena a lot more quickly when she does that than when she's just standing there swinging this unwieldy sword she has. Well, it's not a sword, it's a chainsaw, but you know what I mean. Okay, we're good. Now we got a couple more. Let's see if I can. Maybe I can suck all these guys into a corner and beat them all up that way. That seems to work. Again, I'm just mashing on the buttons. I'm jumping every once in a while, mashing on the buttons, you know, whatever. Whoop! Someone's got a Vulcan cannon. Just a moment. Got to recenter my camera. Okay, I think he's going down. Okay, switch. Switch. Look out. Okay, was that to do with the minigun? Yeah. Whoop, there's another one. There's another one. Again, I'm just mashing on the buttons when I jump. So I just hold down the X button for that little dash jump right there. And as soon as I get close to an enemy, I just mash on the attack button. No worries. Shake the blood off the blade. Okay. Blade's clean. Back to Sakura. Well, Aya, but we're going to call her Sakura. Like I said, she's basically Sakura, right? She got the sailor outfit. She got the school outfit and everything, right? Bum rushing people like Sakura. She won't do a dance, though. That would have been fun, though. Like in a Street Fighter outfit. That'd be cool. But anyway. This music's kind of relentless, but it's kind of a bit too much noise. Generic J rock, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it's okay. Wait. Switch. There we go. Hold on, wrong guy. So I have to turn off the lock on, I suppose, to target the enemy with the minigun. Wait. Turn it off. Over here. Over there. There we go. I got him. So basically, follow the bullets back to their source. You'll eventually get the guy with the chainsaw gun. The guy with the chain gun, anyway. There we go. There might have been yet another one right there. Okay, I'm going to have to switch. I'm going to have to use my special attack at some point, but I'm doing alright as is. This is going to go on for another 10 minutes, just so you know, so fair warning. There might be a quicker way to get through this. I don't know what it is. I can practice, but again, if you're able to keep track of this, great, because there's a lot of flash going on, and I'm barely able to keep track of it. Again, I'm just generally targeting a dude, and then jumping towards them and mashing on the attack button until they fall over. I mean, that's really all I have to say about the combat at this point, you know. It's reasonably fast, but I just kind of wish it were easier to keep track of what was going on, so. Again, you can't take games like Blades of Time for granted, because that game had a dash targeting system that I loved. It had really fluid combat like this, but it was just a lot easier to keep track of. You know, the special effects were, you know, a bit more subdued, so you were able to kind of see who you were targeting. You were able to see where the rest of the enemies were at the same time. That was great. You can't do that in this game, because all those special effects just make the game harder to keep track of. And the camera's moving around so much, it doesn't help either. So yeah, the game's fast and everything, but it's like they should have just dialed back on some of this flash, just so you can keep track of what's going on. It might be better if the game gave you that option at least, like if you can just turn off these effects, just so you can keep track of what's going on. Because the fluidity of combat seems perfectly fine, as mashy as it is. That's the other problem. Because I remember, my main complaint about Blades with Bayonetta was that it was just too button mashing, and then they threw in a bunch of QTEs that made the game even mashier. Because eventually, at some point, you were just supposed to mash on a button to make a cutscene go to completion. So basically, you mash on a couple of attack buttons in your combo tree. Then when a QTE showed up, you kept mashing the buttons a little bit more. And that was part of the rhythm of the combat in Bayonetta, as far as I was concerned. It was just, you know, target a bunch of enemies together, and then, you know, Wait till a QTE shows up to execute the QTE for a higher score bonus. So that kind of annoyed me after a while, because it just became tedious. And then there was all the running around you had to do in between mobs. Let's refresh. Switch. Refresh. Battle setting. Okay, so again, Saki is the pugilist. She's got the beatdown gloves, the crimson knuckles. You know, the bare knuckles. And I'll work on that sword. The game has not explained what the secondary weapons are for, so I'm not going to use them yet. Sorry, it's a research stream, but I'm only going to show what the game is explaining to me. And that's part of the problem with the games. The way the game doles out tutorials, it's kind of sparse. Then you realize, I realized very shortly, after like 20 minutes, that I didn't need most of these mechanics. Because I was doing perfectly fine just mashing on the attack buttons over and over again. Here's Seiya, the lollipop chainsaw girl. So it's Saki, not Aya. It's Saki, who I call Sakura, with the bare knuckles. Seiya, the lollipop chainsaw right here. She has infinity knuckles, but I don't know what they're for. Can't switch weapons. We're not going to need to worry about that. So we'll worry about all that other stuff later when the game makes that available to us. We can level up if we want to, but again, why? I mean, I guess you can make the game faster. That's true. Commands. The game teaches you how to do combos. I mean, okay, but why do you need to know how to do them? Again, I'm just mashing on the buttons anyway. Why would I need to practice my combos? Like, why would I need to know what buttons to press for the combo tree? But it basically doesn't matter what I do. I'm just mashing buttons and it all has the same effect as far as I'm concerned. Again, the weird thing about Blades of Time that Blades of Time got right is that when you're going through these mobs, again, the camera was you know, was well behaved. And the dash charting system made it so that you can easily dash from one enemy to the next. And that level of Blades of Time that I just loved so much was it stage 2? Where there were those enemies that you were fighting that were, they were chucking spears at you. And there were enemies that were guarded by shields. Like there was one enemy that showed up that would randomly spawn a red force field. And you couldn't attack that enemy yet. So you basically had to clear out the enemies around him. And the reason I got that was a very hard fight. It took me like half an hour to get past it. But I was willing to keep coming back to it because, again, the combat was easy to control. Like, it was very well behaved, it was disciplined. So when you had to do the really demanding stuff, the game rewarded you for learning how to practice the combat because the combat was made so that you could make sense of it. And that you could eventually exploit it. So that was the reason why the combat was designed the way it was, to make it easy to control. It was sort of a puzzle in that, yeah, some enemies didn't react. You basically couldn't be defeated by just mashing on the buttons. Like you had to employ a modicum of strategy at least in that game. Because at some point you reached an enemy that just couldn't be defeated by just mashing on the attack buttons like this. You had to actually use dash attacks to, like, separate one enemy from the group so that you could defeat them. But really, part of the problem with this game is that really there isn't a whole lot of strategy here at all. I mean, I had to occasionally pay attention to the enemies with, you know, machine guns and such because I could see them shooting at me. But other than that, it's kind of hard to see what's going on. It's hard to see who's attacking you, really. So you just kind of keep mashing the buttons over and over again in a blaze of fury, I suppose. And then eventually the enemies stop coming. Because the enemies just keep respawning until eventually you defeat the entire mob. So there might be like 10 enemies on screen in the arena, but once you whittle them down, another wave comes through and you employ the exact same tactics. I mean, these enemies here have shields, but eventually you can break past them too. Again, in a game like Blades of Time, it'd be a lot easier to be strategic because, again, all you really had to do was find a way to separate them from the mob so you can take them on one at a time. Because in that game, it was dangerous to stay in a mob. It was dangerous to attack more than 2 enemies at a time because people could sneak up on you and do lots of damage. So I was doing the whole separate one, you know, lure one enemy away from the mob or target a specific enemy that's away from the mob and mash on that one enemy just so you can whittle them down. In this game, you're whittling enemies down just by, you know, mashing the attack and jump buttons over and over again. So that's a bummer. Because this game has potential if they had bothered to keep the camera under control and made the AI a lot better. Because these enemies are just sitting around just waiting to be slashed. So that's kind of... So it's basic. So like I said, it's Dynasty Warriors at that point. Without even the benefit of, you know, a strategy, like a strategic overlay, like a map that would actually put some stakes into the combat here. Here you're just mashing on enemies till they die. In a game like, you know, the Dynasty Warriors games, yeah, the order in which you do things matters because that's going to determine whether you're going to survive. Okay, I tried to press triangle and circle. There we go. There we go. I guess I'm clearing them out a little bit. I can press trackpad here for a cross attack combo. So we'll clear out these, we'll whittle down these Medusa heads and whatnot with these cross attacks that we got. But Saki's pretty fast. Bare Knuckle here. Blaze from Bare Knuckle here is pretty fast. We got a few more left, right? Yeah. Good thing I'm not going to die. Yep, I didn't die this time. I died during my last video and I wasn't doing commentary, so. That was the boss, right? Yeah, that was the boss. Let's get out of here. Yeah, we're done. So yeah, wow, I got a platinum there. You actually did a lot better when I cleared out this level than the first time I played. The first 2 times I played. So yeah, this game's obviously pretty stupid, but it had potential. See here, now the game tells you how to lock... Actually, no. Did the game explain this in stage 1 or in stage 2? I don't think the game ever explained the lock-on system yet. It might have explained it at the very beginning of the game, because eventually it explained the dashing system, where you can't explain that without explaining the lock-on system. But really, that's what I've been complaining about since I started this game. It's this whole idea where, because there's just so much activity on screen, and the game doesn't really challenge you by making you think about how to control your character in a disciplined way. You're just mashing on buttons for 20 minutes. So maybe it gets better later, but Blades of Time brought the noise maybe like 15 minutes in the game. Like it was introducing systems a little bit at a time. Then eventually you got to the first boss, which was really hard, but it forced you to learn how to use that dash targeting system to defeat that walking robot-looking boss thing. You know, the mecha boss. And so it was really disappointing to see a game after... It was disappointing to play Bayonetta after that, because level design mattered in Blades of Time. It didn't matter as much in Bayonetta. And in this game, level design is pretty much whatever. It's like Sengoku Basara. It's just... Now return to the main menu. So it's just Sengoku Basara. It's just a big linear level. You bash enemies in a mob. Wait for the horde to be whittled down to nothing. And then just go to the next stage. So, I mean, the game's, you know, dribbling, you know, all the mechanics here. But I'm going to show you in a second. There's some potential here for depth. I'm going to go to the practice mode here. Because like I said, I'm giving this game a fair shot. But I'm going to show you some of the potential the game has by showing you the practice mode. This is interesting because it allows you to attack just, how many enemies? Well, just one enemy, really. Let's just attack one zombie. Behavior. We can change the difficulty. That might be good. Hard, violent, berserk. Okay. We'll do hard. Behavior. Yeah, we can make it move. No death. Target one of the enemy is invincible. Let's make it not die, because I want to show you this meter that's doing right here. When this level loads, check out the bottom of the screen. There's going to be a colored meter on the screen as soon as I press one of the attack buttons. That meter is going to determine the timing that you need to do to execute the combo tree. So basically the game's going to say press this button at this time to get the perfect combo timing. So we're going to start with we'll start with Sakura. Go to Kesha. Go to... Actually, that's Kagura with the red hair. Go to a Veronica here, then we'll let Lollipop Chainsaw go last. We're not going to switch, let's be honest. Okay, let's get things started. Enemy right here. See that meter on the bottom of the screen where you see the yellow? It's yellow, red, blue, and a light blue meter on the very bottom. See, that's interesting. So if I time this perfectly so I hit the yellow meter, when that bar's in the yellow box, that's supposed to be perfect combo timing. Okay, fine. Why do I even need to do that? Just mash on the attack buttons. That's all I've been doing, just mash on these attack buttons and you'll do just fine, right? I mean, maybe your attacks are stronger when you mash on the button with perfect timing. But why even bother? I can try and follow the animation, I guess, by figuring out when the animation frames are perfectly timed for the next move, but like it just feels like a demo for a brawler that was never actually developed. Like they were trying to add a system that was never really made important because the combat doesn't encourage you to play this way. The game's just like, just mash buttons, you'll be just fine. I guess if you want to play on a higher level, you can. Maybe you'll get a higher score if you perfect the timing of your button presses, but it's just so mashy as is. What's the point of even doing it that way? So again, just mashing on the button seems to work just fine for me. Yeah, I'm fine. Like, there's no wrong way to mash these buttons, so I mean there is if you wait too long. But if you just mash on the buttons, you know, with very little thought, you'll be just fine. So I guess it's an example of what happens when you don't set up your combat system to, you know, be somewhat strategic. Well, design matters. We'll back out of here. Supposed to be a hard enemy too, by the way. I don't know what hard means for an enemy like this. For a game like this, it might just mean violent instead of just hard. But anyway. I think there's really I don't think there's a whole much else to say here. We'll probably look at more stuff later. Let me look at the quests. Yeah, these are basically achievements. Defeat a large number of enemies with consecutive kills, and eventually you unlock something. I don't even know what. This one. So I unlocked this one by using Chase numerous times. But other than that, I don't know what to defeat a large number of enemies while spinning, so I guess I can achieve that one. I guess I earned an outfit or something? Check the moveset, huh? Oh yeah, so I can check out the moveset of every character, so we'll stick to Saki. Yeah, I think they have something here if they can just actually develop some levels to put some decent AI on it and make the camera behave. I mean, okay, compared to Bayonetta, the frame rate in this game is higher than Bayonetta, but the art direction isn't there. The fluidity of the combat's almost there. The camera's a lot harder to control in this game than it is in Bayonetta. Again, but those are both problems that were basically solved when I played Blades of Time. And Blades of Time has much better level design. Really, because you're not just wandering around for 5 minutes looking for enemies to fight because you can't figure out how to solve some stupid Devil May Cry puzzle that Kamiya put in the game. What the heck was going on with Bayonetta 2? We were wandering around the plaza trying to walk up that mirror so that you can go through the mirror. Like, what was that all about? Why was I running around for 5 minutes swimming through the water in a Bayonetta... Sorry. Bayonetta doesn't really make me mad, but it's just the level of disappointment I had playing both of those games. It's like, those games are the reason I got an Xbox 360. Bayonetta 2 is one of the reasons I got a Wii. I got a Wii U, and now I tossed them off to the side, because I mean, it's just, I need to stop getting my expectations up for Platinum games. I mean, I need to play good Platinum games. It's been I have to play Nier Automata. I'm going to play Nier Automata later on this year. It's probably going to disappoint me a little bit less. I don't know. But, yeah, Platinum games are kind of... This is what a Platinum game would be if Kamiya didn't have an ounce of discipline, I guess you could say. So it's hard to believe that Bayonetta is more reserved than this game. But yeah, you can't... No. Just... No. We're going to bounce... And we'll probably play a little bit more of this game. We'll probably play another hour of this game, but I'm probably not going to... This isn't going to hold my interest. It seems too simplistic, frankly. I tried, man.